Hello and welcome back to Outlandish Claims, everyone. It's been a week, and you'll notice that one of our panelists has changed.
It is I, the dark boy. Or at least
I mean,
the medium brown boy.
You more on the light skin side, but it's okay. It's cool.
Caramel, like a Solange caramel.
This wonderful human being. This is Demetrius George. He is a friend from high school. More importantly, he does sports on his YouTube channels. And he will now be here, God willing, Dwayne Reed willing, every week, 7 o'clock. Thank God for you, Dem.
Thank you.
So this week, we're all unmuted for the entire time. Why? Because it's our first actual Outlandish Claims episode. We're going to give our preseason predictions for every postseason matchup. Because you weren't here last week. Your wild card / ALDS predictions.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the American League. Because as we know, I wasn't here last week.
The American League, it's the ALDS.
Well, whatever. I'm going to do the league. So, in my ALDS matchup, I have the White Sox as the division champion representatives of the AL Central, taking on the Houston Astros.
Okay.
And on the other side of the American League, I have the New York Yankees, who will win the AL East, taking on the wild card Toronto Blue Jays.
And they will beat who in the wild card game?
Facing off against the Blue Jays is a 2-for-1 deal. I've got either the Angels.
Oh, no. You don't get it. No, there's no either.
No.
There's no either. No, come on. You commit to it.
Well, the only way I'll commit to this is if Cleveland commits to a name, because they're my other choice. Progressive Field, more like lack thereof.
Team, all right? It's a great name.
So I've got the Cleveland Spiders as a B option. Yes, I said the Cleveland Spiders. I said what I said. It's 2021.
Cy Young approves.
But the Angels. In last week's show, I was going to mention in my honorable mentions from my worst offseason teams that for the Angels being on my honorable mention list, yeah, Mike, Shohei, and Tony Two Banks can't carry that team. But Shohei's throwing triple digits again. Mike Trout's turning 29. He's got that dad power now. He's going to peak.
Mr. Edwards, the floor is yours, sir.
Okay, so in terms of the wild card game for the American League, I'm going to go with the Toronto Blue Jays and the Houston Astros, okay? When it comes to Toronto, I like what they did this offseason with the Springer acquisition, okay? That gives you the most dynamic bat that you've had, especially within a free agent acquisition or an acquisition in general, probably since Jose Bautista. You know what I'm saying? When you had Jose and Edwin and Justin Smoke It Up in the crew, you've got a team that hasn't necessarily been there since the middle of last decade. They are going to be hungry. They are going to be better. I like the veteran leadership that George Springer brings. Scandal aside. That's number one. Speaking of scandal, when it comes to the Houston Astros, as much as we all hope that they get thrown at yet again this year, especially with fans finally going to be prevalent for the first time since 2019, this team is always talented, man. This is a team that's built to win now and continuously be within the World Series and pennant conversation. So in terms of the divisions, I got the New York Yankees winning the AL East, as I said that they better do last week, okay? When it comes to the AL Central, I have got the Chicago White Sox. I think when it comes to what they've done in the offseason, bringing in Tony La Russa, you still got Tim Anderson, you still got Jose Abreu, who we really didn't even talk about. That's how much of an embarrassment of riches they have this time around. When it comes to the AL West, I can't believe I'm saying this. I like the Los Angeles Angels this season. Well,
there's an outlandish claim right there.
I like the Los Angeles
Angels.
That's it.
That's the first one.
And that is an outlandish claim, but let me tell you why. Mike Trout is in his prime, baby. Mike Trout is entering his prime, just like my brother Meech had mentioned. And so when you compare the talent and the asset that he is, you got Anthony Rendon there, even though it was by his standards a down year last year. I more so amount that to being sort of like a shortened season type of thing. Okay, you still got Justin Upton, you still got Albert Pujols from a leadership perspective. You pair that with a proven champion who's arguably going to be a Hall of Fame candidate at the end of the day in Joe Madden. Okay, Joe Madden is fundamentally still one of the best managers in all of baseball.
Agreed.
So when you take all of that into perspective, you bet on Shohei Ohtani and his talent. Now, health is a concern, but his talent, the fact that he's throwing 3 digits again, that's my division picks for the American League. I got the Yankees in the East, I got the White Sox in the Central, and then I got the Angels in the West.
All right, beautiful. I'm going to start with the AL East. Might surprise some people, but I do think the Blue Jays win the AL East.
I'm not
And I
mad.
say this on 2 deciding factors. One person you guys did not mention is Teoscar Hernandez, who was
he was in
peaks
top 100
last season. His
Yeah, I watched a
issues
little
were
bit there.
always batting at least his issues were always batting his batting average. He had 230 batting average a couple of years ago, but then in the shortened season he had a 283 batting average with 60 home runs and 34 RBIs. But if Teoscar can keep hitting at this pace and get more singles and doubles compared to the home runs he was getting, this offense is a complete force. I know George Springer's in his early 30s and he had a pretty overpaid contract, but let's be honest, Toronto, as great of a city as it is, needs to overpay for superstars because they're not in the same vicinity as a New York or a Boston or a Chicago. I think the Blue Jays also win. The second factor is going to be Nate Pearson. I was very high on him last season. As you know, I got him on my fantasy baseball team because of that. And he's got a lot of promise. This guy can throw 100 miles an hour with no problems. But the issue is control. He had a very bad walks per 9 near the end of the season. He lost control of his pitches, kind of lost his mojo per se, but a lot of young pitchers with promise do the same thing. It's all about the second season where you find out if the pitcher's going to be legitimate or not. And I think Pearson is good enough where he's going to take that leap right behind Rio and give a nasty 1-2 punch in the rotation. And I love the Yankees. I'm a big Yankees fan. But we know from time and time again, injuries always ruin this team. They're relying on Corey Kluber and Jamison Tyone to bring that back into the rotation, back to some, relevancy. But when you're relying on Corey Kluber in 2021 to lead you to the promised land, even if it's the back end of the rotation and your top 2 outfielders always get hurt every other week, it's tough to rely on you to win the division. So that's the AL East. Going to the AL West, I still got to go with the Astros. I know they lost George Springer. I know Verlander's not going to be there this season. But the difference for me is that Dusty Baker. Even though Dusty Baker tends to abuse his young pitcher arms, Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor, for example, he finds ways to get deep into the playoffs. And they went to the ALCS last season with a befuddled team full of asterisks and injuries. But to finish out the divisions for the AL Central, I'm going to have to go with the White Sox. So then my 2 wild card teams are going to be the Yankees. They always seem to be in this position, but it is what it is. They're going to make the playoffs. They're too talented not to. And then my second wild card team, believe it or not, Adam, you're going to love me for saying it, I think Tampa is going to sneak into the playoffs. They're going to sneak in.
No, you don't lose Charlie Morton and Blake Snell and go to the playoffs.
But that's what the Rays do. The Rays always find a way to get these low-value, short-term signings and make them into gold, regarding how bad Kevin Cash was.
Prediction, man. I really do.
As bad as Kevin Cash was in the World Series, I firmly believe that Tyler Glasnow, Outlandish Claim number 2, Tyler Glasnow is my 2021 AL Cy Young. And he's going to lead
Tampa. Take my picks from me.
You know what?
You know what? From now on, I go first.
But those are my picks for the playoffs in the AL.
Okay, fine. Now it's my turn. And y'all go sit and listen. Y'all going to learn some things today. All right, so first, we all agree the White Sox are winning the Central. I think we all agree there. Secondly, it's absolutely going to come down to the Yankees and the Blue Jays. They're going to fight over the East. I happen to think it's going to be the Yankees because at this point, Mike said it perfectly. They better win. So I'm going to give the Blue Jays the first wild card spot. I'm going to give the Yankees the AL East. Number 3, I think the second wild card slot, I'm going to give it to the Twins.
We kind of have written the Twins off in this one for some reason.
Well, the Twins are written off because they're always smoked by the Yankees. To you guys' credit, they deserve to be written off because they never get past the first they're meeting with the Yankees. Number 4, here's where you people gonna learn today. Number 4, the West winners.
The A's?
The
We're
Oakland
like the
Athletics.
L's.
I love how you had that ready and you just like flipped it. That's picture perfect.
And here's why.
The
I
L's.
want to focus on the small things they lost, the biggest of which I grant you was probably the best closer in the American League in Liam Hendricks. But none of you want to focus on what they have gained and retained. Jesus Luzardo, ready to take a next step. You have Sean Manaea back from the injuries. You have Chris Bassett back from the injuries. You have, hopefully, by the time the league starts, Frankie Montas back off injury. You have A.J. Puck at the top of the rotation, not in terms of skill, but in terms of experience and veteran leadership. You have Mike Fiers, who of everybody is ready to say, yo, Houston, bleep you, I'm going to kick your ass. They also retain Matt Chapman. They still have Sean Murphy at catcher. They have Matt Olson at first, who had a down year in terms of batting average, but a career best in terms of home runs and OPS. You've got Mark Canha, who can do whatever. Their third string first baseman is Mitch Moreland, who subbed in for the Red Sox and batted over 300 last year. And then in the outfield, you have the second best outfield, my outlandish claim, the second best outfield in the entire majors. I mean, Ramon Laureano, Steven Piscotty, Mark Canha in the outfield, and Chad Pinder as a second baseman outfield backup. I'm sorry, they got too much talent. The Oakland Athletics are going to win their division, and they're going to win their matchup in the ALDS against none other than the Chicago White Sox. Once again, they're going to blast them out in 3. That's my pick. You're going to get the Blue Jays beating the Twins, even though it's not the Yankees, in the wild card. And then you're going to have upset alert. No, I'm kidding. Yankees beating the Blue Jays in 4.
Cap or no cap? Adam has better facial hair than Mike Fiers.
No cap.
That's no cap.
No cap. No cap.
No cap
No
at
cap
all.
for me, dog.
Hey, my cap is gone. There's no cap. There's no cap.
God. Oh, my
Oh, man. But yeah, okay, so LDS. The New York Yankees over the Toronto Blue Jays. Okay?
Okay.
I've got the Chicago White Sox over the Angels. So I think the White Sox are going to get to their first LCS probably since they won the championship.
It's Paul Konerko.
Yeah, right.
Konerko
Paul
Pacific.
Konerko, Bobby Jenks, Frank Thomas, those boys.
Juan Uribe.
That tells you how old this man.
Uribe. There's a name.
Yo, Creed, how about that?
No Creedy.
Mark Burley.
Yeah, Mark Early's perfect.
Speedrunning God.
AJ Pierzynski.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Okay.
I can go on. I can do this all day.
We could do this all day.
Jermaine Dye.
Arahito Iguchi. Mike mentioned Blue Jays and the Yankees going 3 to 2 to 5 games. I have that same outcome, but I have Toronto winning.
Oh, love it.
And my outlandish claim is George Springer is going to hit 4 home runs in that series.
Ooh, ooh.
On the other side, I've got the White Sox taking out Houston 3 to 1.
All right, at least you got Houston losing in the first round.
All right. Well, since we're doing outlandish claims on this, it's funny we have the same type of series because I have the Yankees facing the Blue Jays as well. They win the wild card game, and they beat Toronto 3 to 1 in the series. My outlandish claim for that one is Garrett Cole throws a perfect game,
Whoa!
game 4, to seal the deal.
What?
You want specifics? I got
Garrett
please.
Cole throwing a
I heard
perfect game.
I heard the fans, or should I say I heard 0 fans out there. Tell me, give you outlandish claims, and I will give them to you, baby. So that's my first series. And I also have Chicago beating Houston in a complete sweep. Who will make the American League side of the World Series? Who is going to be our National League picks? And most importantly, is it your boy Mike Edwards, or was it your boy Mike Edwards? Find out more on Outlandish Claims coming up soon.
You see how beautiful that face is behind him, y'all? That's the gospel right there. That's the gospel. Amen.
Oh,
It's pure in every form.
y'all already know who it is.
Your boy, Mike Evans.
To host a fan show or appear as a fan on a fan show, simply create a profile on Fan Media's iOS app or website. Select your teams and make a short intro video on your phone. Show hosts, reporters, former players, and superfans can use our Get Verified feature and make an intro video as well, and our mobile newsroom staff will reach out.